Hello there. Happy Independence Anniversary and welcome to another edition of Channels Beam. I'm Victor Matthias. Now, exactly 57 years ago, Nigeria was in a festive period as history was made. October 1st, 1960, the day that the United Kingdom had set aside to grant Nigeria independence as a sovereign state. However, since that period, Nigeria has witnessed several lows and highs, and today on the program, we will be examining how far Nigeria has come so far. But let's take a break and check out the top trends in the past week. As expected, this hashtag made the trends list as Nigerians and non-Nigerians all over the world took time out to celebrate the 57th independence anniversary of Nigeria. That apart, they also listed successes and failure of the country within this period. Nigerian hip-hop superstars Paul and Peter Okoye made the headlines after a video of them emerged having a heated debate about breaking up or staying as a group. The twins have produced hit songs for over a decade to the delight of Nigerians, and that explains why there was so much fuss about the video. Well, there you go. Those were the trends. Now joining us to look at the topic of today is a lecturer in the United Kingdom, Dr. Dipo Awojide. Thanks for joining us. And a political scientist, Muyiwa Amao, who joins us from Dunedin in Australia. Well, once again, thanks for joining us. But Muyiwa, let me come back to you to kickstart this conversation for us. 57 years after independence, how far so far has Nigeria progressed?
Well, people who are pessimists by nature would argue that it's been a sad story over the last 57 years, particularly when you situate the fact that as a 57-year-old man or woman, you should have your foot firmly on ground. You should have your foundation well established. Your foundation, which should be your structure, should be solid, and there should be a superstructure on that foundation. So for a 57-year-old kid, you would think that you should have done much better than you have done now. And then for a 57-year-old adult also, when you treat Nigeria within the confines of a human being, you would think we should be better off. So pessimists will argue that if at 57, we're still grappling with issues about restructuring, about bad leadership, about bad governance, about poverty, and about corruption, and about Nigerians not being proud to call their country their own, then we have not done well. That's how pessimists would argue. But incredible optimists like Hawes would argue that every nation has its own problems. At 57, yes, we might have had our shortcomings as a nation, but it's not been a sad story. 57 years after, 36 states, one federal capital, millions and millions of people, established Nigerians all over the world. The name is flying everywhere positively. There are a few bad eggs amongst us as a people, but overall, optimists would argue that there's something to be happy about. But again, when you now compartmentalize how far we've gone as a nation within the normal yardstick, you should compartmentalize it, then there is going to be a very serious cause for concern.
So going by these serious causes or a cause for concern, don't you think the pessimists have a genuine reason?
Pessimists have a right to be negative as they have been, but a 2.8 is a fair score. So a pessimist would hope for something less than 2.5. So I would not say that we have failed totally. I will only say that in the most important sectors of our nationhood, we haven't done exactly the way we should. But are there structures that can make us better? Yes. So, and that explains my 2.8 over 5. Look, I'm incredibly optimistic that this is a country that can really attain and achieve its potentials. But I'm just saddened that our leaders do not seem to understand that, and that's why I was called a 2.8 over 5.
All right, Dr. Zikpa, let me just come to you now. 2.8 over 5 is what Muyiwa rates Nigeria, but by his own admission, again, he says we could have done better than we are at the moment. Do you share the same view?
In my own opinion, I don't think Nigeria deserves a 2.8 over 5. I think Nigeria deserves perhaps a 1.8 or a 2.0 over 5, because looking at all the critical sectors of the country, things are almost a sad situation. Okay, look at the education sector. Quite a lot of our graduates are not employable, and when we say this, people get angry, but the truth is the truth. Unfortunately, the health sector is almost nothing to write home about. Quite a lot of rich people, they know this, treat themselves in Nigeria. That's why they don't gamble with their lives in Nigeria. They go elsewhere. They go to Germany, England, the UK, Canada. Some even go to, Cyprus and Malaysia to treat themselves. Even Egypt, okay? So if the children of the rich study abroad, everything, the country works. The country works. Nigeria works, but it works for only about 5 or 7% of the population. Those who are in the upper class, those are the people who the country works for. Those are the people who can travel out and get the best education across the world. Those are the people who can travel out and get the best medical care in the world. The majority of the people in Nigeria, they are living in poverty.
So you do believe Nigeria should be better off than it is?
In terms of infrastructure, in terms of healthcare, in terms of education, in terms of security, in terms of job creation. Come on, countries that were not that are not as old as Nigeria, country not better off than Nigeria. A couple of years ago, they export to the rest of the world. Nigeria imports all sorts of things from the rest of the world. I mean, Singapore is an example, Malaysia is an example, Taiwan is an example, even Ghana. Ghana now takes thousands of Nigerian students actually end up in Ghana because our universities still go on strike on a yearly basis. It is now like an annual festival where ASU goes on strike, SANU goes on strike. Some universities go on strike. One university that I wouldn't want to call the name was on strike for more than 1 year, if last year up till this year, which is a big embarrassment on all of us. We definitely should have advanced further than where we are. We definitely should have done more. And why are we where we are? We are where we are due to bad leadership. We are where we are as a nation due to, visionless leadership. Okay, most of our leaders only care about their section of the country. Some of them only care about their own pockets and about their friends. Okay, so it is a sad situation, but of course I agree with Muyiwa that we have to be hopeful. We have to, and hope is not a strategy. We have to put in the work. We have to continue criticizing until things get better, and we have to put in our effort as well in building this country that we call our own.
Dr. Dipo mentioned the fact that we have had very unfortunate leaders, but that is why we are where we are. It is because our leaders haven't seen us as a people. They have rather seen us as a Northerners, an Hausa man, a Fulani man, a Yoruba man, an Igbo man, as against us being seen as a Nigerian. And that's why pessimists will always argue that there isn't any hope for this country. But what are the signs that there could be hope for this country, considering where we are now? It's because for the first time in so many years, even though unfortunately this present leadership seems to be backpedaling on some of the promises it has made, at least gives you that sense of belief that the man who is at the helm of our affairs may be a bit sentimental when it comes to issues concerning the people from where he comes from. But there's that sense of focus in terms of leadership and in terms of him believing that the Nigerian project can be well enhanced and things can get better. He's got his own faults, but I'm tempted to believe that, look, depending on what continuity comes into play when he leaves. I'm tempted to believe that we're slightly better than we were when we had a former leadership in terms of the national or the Nigerian project.